leopard crawls. So this is a really great movement to get into your proud movement patterns, to wake up your nervous system and challenge yourself to hold stability through your hips and your abs and your shoulders. So finding your way into a tabletop position, meaning hands are right underneath your shoulders and knees are directly underneath your hips here. You're going to curl your toes. I'll show you a modification in a minute. Curl your toes underneath you. You're going to lift your knees off the floor. From there, you're going to walk your toes in just slightly. Eyes are going to come forward. Remember that you are a leopard and you're hunting down your prey. And you're going to let your nipples come down to the ground just slightly. Elbows stay locked down. Opposite arm, opposite foot is going to walk forward, in, and back out. This is a very small move. If you're crawling more than an inch at a time, you're going way too big, okay? So very small movement pattern. And the goal is to avoid the hips moving, but you're keeping a nice solid spine, specifically through the pelvis, and trying to plant opposite hand, opposite foot at the same second. So it's not a hand and then foot, but it's a hand, foot together, hand, foot together, hand, foot together. And so that is the full version of this move. However, if that's not where you're at today, both in your core stability, your shoulder stability, or even just your strength in general, your nervous system strength, really at the end of the day, we are reprogramming how your body moves back to how maybe you moved, not maybe, how you did move as a baby, learning to crawl your way forward, which means the modification is a baby crawl. So coming down, hands and knees on the ground, it's the same position, but now you're just not going to elevate your knees here. You're going to keep your knees glued on the floor. Eyes come forward. Remember, you are hunting your prey. Opposite hand, opposite knee. Slides forward, pause together. Pause at the same time. In and back out. And then on the way back, be mindful that you're going through the same movement pattern. I find when we go backwards, so we want to tuck the tailbone in, whether that's more vulnerability or what that might be. But I want you to try to keep your abs catching in the lower half of your abs, but allowing for a little bit of that movement through the T-spine right underneath the shoulder blades or in the nipple line. So that is your leopard crawl or baby crawl, depending on where you're at today. Use these to come back to your movement patterns, to proud movement patterns. But also this is a really great warm-up, but a good breakdown if you're doing a heavy lift or a big conditioning move, and then to find your way to the leopard crawl, to let your nervous system settle down and come back to a natural movement pattern that maybe you forgot about.